we've been away. Honestly, in the grand scheme of things, in the footballing world, not too much has happened. Some notable things. England win qualifiers, shock. Hungary a racist, shock. And Brazil and Argentina and South America are in absolute shambles.
Shock.
Shock.
The fact that 5 minutes into a football game, health officials can just waltz onto the side of the pitch like it's nothing just amazes me differently.
I don't know if you've seen some clips of it. It's just they just walk on. The players like, "What are you doing?" Try and push them off, and then they're pushing, and then it just players come all around. It's absolute nonsense.
Rather than just tell the referee to cancel the game, they just waltz onto the side of the pitch.
They let them into the country, pass through all the checks, train, then play fight. I think Messi even spoke on it. Obviously, they're going to ask his opinion.
But he did. He said, "We've been here 3 days. Why have you waited until we kicked off before you've said anything?"
Makes no sense. Doesn't make any sense at all.
What I'd probably say is obviously there's been ramifications of it. The game got postponed. Will it be played? Who knows? It's the biggest
apparently,
game. Go on.
Apparently, the win goes to Argentina.
How?
Because as stupid as this is, apparently because it's Brazil's fault that they let them in. So because they blame Brazil for it, that means they lose.
Wow.
Make it make sense.
That makes zero sense.
Exactly. So apparently it's an automatic 3-0 win for Argentina.
That's mad because obviously the players involved for Argentina are all based from England. That's Buendia,
the majority,
Romero. Well, no, all the names they wanted off the pitch are based in England. Romero, Lo Celso, Martinez, and Buendia. They wanted them 4 players off and to isolate, but there was no point in them isolating because they didn't anyway. You have to fly off anyways.
Yeah, and then they just, rather than isolating, just flew off to a different country straight after anyway.
Because in fantasy football, when I remember the news came out that we spoke on a couple weeks back when it was just me and Lewis, and we said about countries being not allowed to go to if they're on the red list, footballers. I assume Brazil and Thingy are on the list.
Yeah.
So obviously they have met up, then flown to Brazil, or they just fly to Brazil for the first game. I don't know how that works. And you're telling me that when players knew that it was already red listed, told not to go, these 4 players went. None of it makes sense.
No, none of it makes sense at all.
And that's coming from me, Mr. Make No Sense.
You'd think that someone involved in it all would have a brain and go, Argentina are saying they've done everything by the book. Brazil are saying, well, you obviously haven't because they had to isolate for 2 weeks when they arrived. Yeah. And then somehow they've got 3 points for doing it wrong. See, none of it makes a tiny bit of sense.
I'm going to double check that because they wouldn't give. I mean, it's such a big rivalry. Surely they were never going to give that away.
I don't think it's confirmed, but that's the.
It says the game was abandoned. So on Flash Score, not sponsored. On Flash Score it says abandoned. I've heard it's been postponed, so we'll have to wait and see.
God knows.
But there have been some.
Ridiculous. I'm saying it's ridiculous.
It really is.
There have been some ramifications for it.
Yeah.
For example, as we would discuss just before we went live, the Premier League has been informed they cannot play any Brazilian players between the 10th and the 14th of September. That
because they were told not to travel.
because they were told not to travel, which these players didn't. I believe they didn't. Because I remember on the commentary for when the officials went onto the pitch, they said that Brazil were missing several key players. Obviously, some of these I'm going to read out are in that team. Edison, Alisson, Thiago Silva, Fabinho, Fred, Rafinha, Roberto Firmino, and Gabriel Jesus. However, there is one name on this Brazilian list which is allowed to play due to what can only be described as Lewis said, they've given them a cheeky tenner.
In the back pocket.
In the back pocket, that's correct. Everton forward Richarlison is exempt due to his club's relationship with the Brazilian FA, aka because he's won the Olympics. And wait, did they win the Olympics, Brazil?
Yes.
Yes, they did.
Charlie did.
Because he won the Brazilian.
No.
No, I think they did. Or was it
Can't
Spain?
remember now.
Or was it Spain versus Japan in the final?
Let's have a
Was
I
that
look.
don't know, but
semi?
I've had an absolute mind blank, so I've got no idea.
Oh, Lewis will check. I think they won it. I think they beat Spain in the final.
Yeah, they did 2-1.
That's it. Yeah, because he's won the Copa America and the Olympics in the same year. So happy days for him. Although Rafa Benitez will be one of the happier managers when Premier League resumes.
I think
Well,
the
this
happiest
feels when
manager out of all them
Richarlison
has
races,
got to be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, hasn't it?
No, United fans are happy. United fans are happy. Ollie might not be. Although, with news that we've got, obviously Ronaldo's had his first training session, his second one today. I'm not counting them day by day. There's notably Scott McTominay's back in training. There's someone else, I think, as well, who's returning from it. Sancho, because he pulled out the England squad, he's in training again.
Who's going to feed Ronaldo, though, with no Fred there?
Scotty too high, obviously.
So.
I'd tell you now, he'll make out of all the midfielders we have, I'd probably say he makes the better DM.
You've been saying that. What, rather than Matic?
Oh no, because Matic is a DM, no doubt about that. He is the best, but in terms of bearing in mind we only have one DM, really, because Fred's a box to box. I'd say, well, in a recent interview,
like country to
country. Scott's basically a utility player at this point for Scotland and United. He can play any role in midfield and centre back. But the thing is, in my eyes, he's more of a box to box. Donny, he says he's more like he can play the 6 role, he can play a 10 role, he can play the 8 role, he can play basically any role. In a recent interview he did.
He's forgot how to kick a football at this rate.
Oh no, I think he'll be fine.
out.
Well, apparently there is an agreement with Ollie that he will get a lot more game time, and I think he will, because I don't think Pogba will have played centre mid that many times, personally, due to the fact that how bad he was arguably against Wolves. Because that game still gives me nightmares. Just seeing Traore versus Fred. Oh, the return of Ronaldo has been blessed with everything apart from the 3 p.m. kickoff. That's the only thing.
When do you play? Do you actually play at 3 p.m?
3 p.m. kickoff.
What's wrong with that? You can't watch him, can you?
Shame.
Hey, I'm not saying to do it illegally because we can't, because that's wrong. Have you seen the prices Saturday's tickets are going for?
No.
There's tickets.
Is that what you sent us the other day? When 250 quid?
No. That was a Lego recreation of Old Trafford.
Oh, trust me, I thought you were actually looking for tickets. And that was a picture of the stadium.
No.
Did you think that were tickets, Lewis?
I had a brief 2-second look at it and I thought I'm not interested in this and swiped off it.
Of course, you're never interested in anything. So I've been looking, and I get ticket emails of when there's some form of update, but by the time you click on it, the tickets are gone anyways. But ticket prices have roughly been about 900 to over 2k for just the game against Newcastle.
Well, they wouldn't be if you
Yeah.
bought them like straight away.
Oh yes, bought them straight away before Ronaldo was even talked about going to Manchester United. That's the reason why why every single game, regardless of competition, will be full at Old Trafford. Just with the chance of seeing Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, hey, I have tickets to go to Old Trafford this season already. Carabao Cup against West Ham. A lot of people don't think
So
he's
you're
going
not
to play.
seeing Ronaldo then?
How high are you sat up?
I'm front row.
Are you like
I'll be on.
scaffolding
I'll be
bar on the
if
back
it's
of
on
the step?
TV. I'll be on TV. I'll have a sign.
No, we won't- we
I'll have a
won't
sign
make
saying,
it
"Please,
anymore.
Ronaldo, can I have your shirt?"
No, you'll have a sign saying, "Please don't interview me. I'll stutter."
Ronald.
Did you see that video of that guy earlier who waited outside? Is it Carrington? Since 6 a.m. with a sign saying like, "Oh, welcome Ronaldo. I've waited since 6 a.m. for you," or something like that. And he was like, "I'm." And this Sky Sports interviewed him. He was like, "Yeah, I'm absolutely getting a photo with him. Fully 100% tell you now, Ronaldo will stop for me." And he just drove straight past without even looking at him.
Oh,
Some
dear.
people did it Wednesday manager of the week. They waited till 2 hours after the game had finished just to get a photo with Darren Moore.
I don't think I could ever do that.
They
'Cause
waited till 11 at night to get a photo with Darren Moore.
Well, John Stones has put Robert Lewandowski on his backside.
Oh, just like I do, I will with Carl when he gets here in October. But until then,
Program secret.
we will be back next week
I'm
for
not
another
gonna lie
episode.
to you.
God damn it, Lewis! I was doing the outro.
Yeah, but you were stuttering.
No,
I'm
I
not gonna lie to
wasn't.
you. We're losing because the ref is a Poland spotter. They've got 12 men on the pitch.
Are they England actually losing?
No.
No, it's 0-0, but we will be losing this because the ref.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Right, let him do the outro, Lewis.
Oh. Well, I can't now because it was a different part. Right. And I forgot what we were on about before then because Lewis just butted in.
Stuttering.
What we were on about before?
I don't know. Right. We will see you next time for another episode of the Team Talk. Carl, wave us off.
Au revoir.
Oh, God, he took the hat off. Oh.